Welcome to another episode of Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement. I'm here at the News Forum where all voices matter. Coming up in April is an interesting networking and economic development conference taking place just east of Toronto. Here to discuss it with me are Mark Radha. He is a board member of ConnectingGTA, and Angela Baltkois. She is the president of ConnectingGTA. Welcome to Boom and Bust.
Good morning. Be here.
Angela, maybe I'll start with you, Madam President. Obviously, ConnectingGTA. Tell us a little bit about that organization, why you were founded in the first place, that kind of thing.
Sure. ConnectingGTA was founded in 2017 with just 5 core members. Today it has grown to approximately 400 members. I joined ConnectingGTA about 4 years ago, so I was within the earlier group. And it's been great watching it grow.
And Mark, maybe give us a little bit more background on what the mandate of ConnectingGTA is.
Yeah, the mandate is to really support local businesses and growing enterprises. And that is across all spectrums of growth stages. So whether you're, a startup or just funded, small, medium-sized enterprise, we even have large cap members that are part of the group as well. And so the mandate is to really kind of bring everyone together, create an environment of shared experience, mentorship, events, but ultimately growth. I think that's the one thing that we're all chasing, irrespective of which industry you're in or what stage of company you're in.
So would you say that a lot of it is basically about networking and finding new business opportunities?
Absolutely. Networking is at its core. A lot of people lack the ability to connect with others, right? Businesses grow when the environment around us is different, and the soil, as it were, is the right mix for us to sprout. And so the mandate and essentially what ConnectingGTA is about is creating that right mix, that right atmosphere or environment for people to connect, cross-pollinate. When you have a great variety of businesses that are together, we really get to learn from each other. It's not just about best in class, but it's about best out of class as well, bringing those nuggets of wisdom in. And we can only do that when we have an amazing forum to connect.
Gotcha. Angela, maybe you can just describe some of the events that ConnectingGTA does or has historically done, and just to give, again, a bit of a flavor about what the organization is about.
I'd love to. The events are downright fun. We actually just had a Women in Business Symposium event at Queen's Park on Monday, where we all were chauffeured to Queen's Park for a tour, and we got to sit in on question period and mix and mingle with a lot of MPs. That's just one of many fun events that ConnectingGTA puts together. There's also a lot of fundraising. For example, I believe it was in 2020 or 2021, we did a rally for the Royal Canadian Legion. And I think it was about $11,000 that was raised to support the Royal Canadian Legions.
Yeah, so these are, again, ways to connect businesses. It sounds like the event at Queen's Park, for example, Angela, you wanted to connect them with provincial politicians and talk about business issues. Would that be fair to say?
Yes. It was fantastic. Like I said, it was more of a high overview, a tour of Queen's Park. And like I said, we got to sit in on question period. And that in itself was quite an interesting experience.
They usually are when you're dealing with question period and some of the more political things. Mark, what sort of events do you find really successful at ConnectingGTA?
There's a business expo that happens every year where we bring together in excess of, I believe, 75 companies. And that's an area for us to, again, really gain awareness of these businesses in a widespread way. I think awareness is one of the biggest business challenges out there. And anything we can do to shed light on businesses, we're going to absolutely do that. So the Business Expo is a huge event for us. We also have a lot of networking events that take place. I think last count, Connecting GTA has almost 75 events every single year.
Wow.
Right.
Mark, I'm going to have to just cut you off. We are going to go to a commercial, but hold that thought. We'll get right back to you guys. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement, here with Mark Radha and Angela Baltkois. We're talking about the group Connecting GTA. Mark, sorry, I had to cut you off there, but you mentioned the great number of networking events that Connecting GTA sponsors. Please continue.
Yeah, absolutely. There's on last count, there's approximately 75 different events that happen throughout the year, and they're all varied. It's we've got about 24 or so workshops and that has to do with how can you scale your business, providing mentorship, everything from advertising, promotion, to how do we fund businesses through debt and equity, things like that, cybersecurity. And we actually have a lot more programming coming through for 2024 as well. There's other events which are not just business centered, but community focused events as well. We spend a lot of time in the community. We have, I think that the number in 2023 was over 500 volunteer hours. And I think that's even a conservative number. We do far more than that. And so it's about making sure that we're out there and we're supporting the communities that we're part of. Again, this is going back to that, the analogy of an ecosystem that exists, and business is part of that, but being a great corporate citizen is another one. We have events where I think Angela's been part of around the truck wraps and having events that raise awareness on key issues. Angela, I'll let you speak to this because it's such an important topic, but through her business, she was able to wrap trucks to talk about human trafficking.
Yeah, please, Angela, talk about that.
Yes, Connecting GTA and its members have sponsored 3 transport trucks with routes right across Canada, raising awareness on human trafficking. There's actually a 4th truck that will be wrapped within the next couple of weeks and launched in April. Basically, when we wrap these trucks, we then do a truck launch event, and we invite all the local MPs and the politicians, and the whole entire community is welcome, and it's all educational, and it's all about elevating awareness. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. When I talk about Connecting GTA, the first word that comes to my mind is philanthropy, because they're always looking to what can we support and how can we support that. And I know at some point I asked Suresh, how many people or how much funds have probably been raised over the years for different charitable aspects, and it was hard to quantify, but it's probably near $30,000. And this is all collective effort of members donating from their own businesses to support lots of different causes. Amazing.
Angela, can I just go to you? Obviously, we want to talk about this economic development conference taking place in April. Can you give us a little bit of a background on that, its purpose, and how it's going to roll out?
Yeah, the purpose of the Economic Development Summit is to connect businesses to economic development officers and political leaders. I believe at this point, Ajax, Pickering, Oshawa, Whitby, Brampton, and Belleville mayors have confirmed their attendance. Mark is one of the key persons spearheading the entire planning and development of this, so he can probably speak to it a little better than I can.
Sure, Mark. Obviously, when and where is this conference? Let's start with that.
The conference will take place on the 12th of April. It's a whole day conference, and it's going to be hosted at one of our member spaces at 369 Global's event space at 100 Westney Road South in Ajax. 100 Westney Road South.
Excellent. And give us a sense of what the schedule looks like for this event.
Yeah, so the schedule is an all day commencing around 9 in the morning. And what's great about it is that it's going to be a play between economic development with municipalities, so the officers and the key people within economic development, and showcasing businesses itself. So really a sense of, how do we better run public-private partnerships? What does partnership look like? Who's out there, right? A lot of businesses don't actually know who to go to, right? And so we're going to be spending the day really focusing and highlighting certain regions. What are they good at? What type of growth are they looking for? And then pairing that up with the businesses themselves. So businesses are going to have a spotlight on them to be able to showcase, this is who we are. This is how many people we support in the community. We're looking to expand. Here's what we need for support. So the day is going to be divided between kind of a back and forth of understanding who needs what and pairing them together.
Welcome back to Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement, here with Mark Radha and Angela Baltkois, both of whom are from Connecting GTA. Talked a little bit about the April 12th conference coming up, the Business Development Summit. I'd love to get a sense from both of you about what you're getting, the feedback you're already getting from your membership. These are all, as you said, small and medium-sized businesses for the most part. What is their sense of economic development in Ontario right now? Angela, what are you getting back from your members?
Lots of excitement. This is kind of the one-of-a-kind first-time event. I personally have never attended an event like this, and I've never heard of an event like this. I mean, sometimes, you'll have a couple of local municipalities, but this is all-encompassing. And I know the list of confirmed is going to just grow. I know there's several other mayors that will probably be participating and other economic development officers. So it's exciting. It's a great opportunity, I think, for all the businesses that attend and get involved.
Mark, moving away from the summit just for a second, though, you must be getting feedback already over the last couple of years, let's say, from members about the state of economic development, the state of the economy, how that is impacting a small business. Do you have a sense of that from your membership?
Absolutely. People are bullish on Ontario, right? We have to acknowledge that we've gone through a hard time, and we've heard that from all of our businesses, small, medium, and large as well, right? There was a level of stress that COVID brought through that really impacted these companies and their abilities to grow and to even just to connect, right? So we've gone through a hard time, and we've seen the light at the end of the tunnel. And so there's a lot of elation. There's, like I said, they're extremely bullish. One of the things that we've heard is that, the time during COVID really pressed them quite hard, because a lot of these small and medium-sized enterprises, they're the backbone of the Canadian economy. We're talking about almost 50% of GDP generation comes from small and medium-sized enterprises. So they feel the weight on their shoulders. And one of the things that we've heard from them is that they've taken on disproportionate amount of risk, right, to put themselves out there. And through COVID, there were a lot of businesses failed. And so now coming out of that, what they're seeing in not just the Canadian economy, but the US economy, and because, they're kind of selling back and forth between both, is this is our time now, right? They're extremely bullish. They're looking for growth. They're looking for opportunity, and opportunity doesn't look the same as it did pre-COVID. Right. That's the new reality that we live in, and they're looking to live that out.
And do you get a sense that access to capital is one of the big issues then?
Yeah, access to capital is extremely hard. I mean, interest rates have risen quite fast. Risk capital has evaporated from the market. And this is the lifeline of any business, right? The working capital needs. And so they've seen a lot of lenders go conservative, right? In terms of some of the loans and some of the businesses that they're willing to fund. And if they're willing to fund, they're asking for significant, commitment from the businesses themselves in terms of security. Sometimes is not there, or covenants that are not there, they're not able to make. But capital is scarce today, and this is one of the biggest issues that they face going forward.
Angela, do you get a sense from the members, from your members, about what governments should be doing more of to spur growth and opportunity?
I think the thing that I keep hearing over and over again is, about the influx of cash, money, grants, whatever that may be. There was certainly a lot of complaining about the repayment of CERB and
Right.
surrounded that.
So that was the big thing that was foremost in their anxiety recently, I guess. Yeah, understood. Mark, anything to add on that?
Yeah, I mean, government plays an important role here as a facilitator of economic growth, both not just from the capital side, but from the opportunity side as well, right? And so we've heard from our businesses saying, we don't even know who to approach when we have an issue or how they can support us, right? So I think government needs to do a better job, not just in providing that capital, but actually creating a deeper engagement with a lot of these businesses to say, these are the programs available. Sometimes we go to our membership, we say, did you know that this grant existed or that this funding opportunity existed? And they were just like, we had no idea.
Right.
And oftentimes that came long after the deadline date. So I think deeper engagement is important.
We're going to take another brief break with our guests. Please stay with us. We'll be back after these messages. Welcome back to Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement, here having a discussion with Angela Baltkois and Mark Radha. They are executives and board members for the organization called ConnectingGTA. Angela, one of the things I've noticed about your organization is it's very diverse in terms of the business owners and executives. Certainly very reflective of our multicultural state of existence now in the GTA. So are there any particular challenges that they face, your members face as a result of that?
Oh, absolutely. And I would say that's definitely where ConnectingGTA is just the best place for them to be. There's a lot of collaboration, there's a lot of support. And of course, there's a lot of connection to local government to assist, members with the various challenges that they're having.
Mark, do you want to add anything to that from your perspective?
Yeah, the diversity is great, both from a firmographic perspective, ethnographic perspective as well, right? And it's amazing, right? You need that diversity for cross-pollination, but inherently there's challenges as well, right? What a startup within the group needs is going to be vastly different than a mature company, right? So we've been spending actually a lot of time trying to understand and empathize and listen to what is it that they need, and start to shape a lot of the programming, a lot of the mentorship, the workshop seminars, that type of thing, to be exactly what they need at that time to stimulate growth. But I think that across all of them, one of the key themes that have come out is they're looking for how do we communicate better, how do we connect better, but what does cybersecurity look like in 2024 and going forward, right? So there's some key themes that are starting to come out. We actually have some research out at the moment where we're kind of listening and gathering that information. But these are some of the things that we're hearing.
Yeah, so you meant that's very interesting. You mentioned cybersecurity as an example, right? So that's top of mind with your members.
Absolutely, right. As we accelerate into this digital world and through this process of digital transformation, I think that we understand the internet and the digital space usually through social media, right? But we don't actually understand how to leverage the digital world to create value for businesses. Everything from the digitization of contracts, right? A lot of our members who are owner operators are, they've always done everything with paper contracts, right? With a handshake. When saying, hang on a second, you can actually reach people through digital contracts. It's going to be a lot easier. But what about digital advertising as well, right? Being in the right places and the right channels at the right times. right? So they don't understand that, and that has a cybersecurity impact as well in their businesses.
Yeah, Angela has the topic of artificial intelligence and its impact on business. Has that started to come up with your members too?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's some are very excited about it and some are very concerned because, of course, with any new technology like that, there's positives and there's negatives. I'm not sure. Maybe you could speak to this a little bit more. Mark has more of a technical than I do.
Yeah, Mark, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, the conversation around AI has come up quite a few times. I think a lot of our businesses are trying to just level set and understand what is it, right? Beyond just ChatGPT or some of the generative stuff that's out there in terms of visuals, but what does this actually mean for our businesses? How can we leverage this? And we've actually, we have some programming that's on its way, about to be deployed around, how do you use this for communication, writing letters, for outreach, what's on your website, that type of thing, and kind of just level setting and alleviating a lot of the fears, because a lot of the times when we talk about AI, it's always, is it going to take our jobs?
Right.
And maybe it's not going to take our jobs. We can use it as a tool to enhance what our company does, or enhance reach, enhance growth, things like that.
Folks, we're going to have to leave it at that. Best of luck with your conference on the 12th of April. And thanks for joining us here at Boom and Bust.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great to have Connecting GTA on the program today, talk about their upcoming conference on April 12th. Thanks for watching.